Well, a startling report suggests the Pentagon shelled out millions of dollars to provide forest camouflage for Afghan soldiers, despite the lack of greenery in the desert country. One America's Chris Pocock has more.
The Pentagon is in hot water after greenlighting a plan to provide Afghan soldiers with improper camouflage. Those uniforms, manufactured by a private company, cost taxpayers $28 million, despite green terrain only making up roughly 2% of the nation. That same report detailed further taxpayer waste, suggesting the Pentagon failed to allow competitive bidding, resulting in much higher costs, as well as unnecessary and expensive frills, such as zippers over buttons. According to the report, the uniforms were bought after a former Afghan defense minister saw them online and said he liked them, a fact Senate Republican Chuck Grassley called, quote, embarrassing and an affront to U.S. taxpayers. That's a sentiment shared by some across the aisle. On Friday, Senator Claire McCaskill, the ranking Democrat on the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee, sent a letter calling the decisions questionable and frustrating.
This is a decision that makes you smack your head in frustration. It's a prime example of wasting hard-earned taxpayer dollars, and we've got to get to the bottom of how this happened.
In response to the report, the Pentagon acknowledged it needs to study whether cheaper and more effective alternatives of the uniform exist. That report, which is put together by Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction, John Sopko, isn't Sopko's first time detailing taxpayer waste in Afghanistan. Back in November, Sopko criticized the government for allowing a private company to walk away with roughly $85 million in taxpayer funds after leaving a planned five-star hotel near the U.S. Embassy in Kabul incomplete.
That building is an iconic building that overlooks our embassy. And since OPIC allowed the contractor to disappear 3 years ago and has done nothing to collect the taxpayers' money, the State Department has had to pay for security to secure that facility. Why did our government allow anyone to build a hotel that close, that imposing, overlooking our embassy?
Sopko is set to speak before the House Armed Services Committee about the uniforms on Tuesday. Meantime, McCaskill is calling on Pentagon officials to answer specific questions about the uniforms by August. Chris Pocock, One America News.